Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to hit subscribe and ring that little bell. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. This week's movie is going to be Spider-Man 2. Fellas, it's pizza time.
Pizza time! Starring Doc Cockblog.
Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus. That was a chef's kiss. It doesn't really come over, microphone, but that's a chef's kiss.
You want to give like a nice wet mwah.
Slobber up them lips, baby.
Yeah.
But no, do it upside down, like Spider-Man kisses MJ.
That's the only way she knows. Instead of putting on a slipper.
Okay, I know we're jumping ahead, but that's like she makes out with her hubby fiance guy upside down. I was like, oh, you just don't turn me on by kissing me upside down.
I was like, you're just man. Man. Man.
You better try it again and put some arachnid on that kiss.
I bet like he would go out of his way to try to please her too. Get like, you know those things you work out on in a door frame? He'll probably try to hang upside down from one of those when she comes home from work or something.
Oh my God, no. All right, headcanon. This is why they didn't get married. She did love him, and he did everything he could to make her do so via the Spider-Man kiss. He hung himself upside down, hanging from a pull-up bar in the doorway to wait for her to come in to give her the kiss. The pull-up bar slipped, and he landed on his neck and died. She came home and found his corpse because he wanted the Spider-Man kiss her.
I bet it was like a two-step process too. Like the bar came off, the whipping motion came down, cracked all his teeth out, and then he hits the ground. Boom, back at the head, no recovery.
Nope.
He really just could have gotten a jungle gym or something.
All right, this movie starts with some like Titanic quality. Leonardo DiCaprio has sketched MJ nonsense.
What do you mean?
Like, it's got the different flashes of, Marvel, and it shows Bonesaw and all these other things from Spider-Man 1. And then it freezes on this Mary Jane photo that is crudely drawn, like, comically. And then it just becomes more and more to life. And there he is, Pizza Boy Parker.
Yeah. Like, we'll get into it a lot in this movie, but, like, putting Peter Parker in, like, the worst possible place, like, mentally, physically, just everything. They put him in, like, a shitty pizza job with a shitty boss and a shitty task.
And he still can't do it. Damn.
Like, man, he waited way too fucking long to use his spider powers. Like, so long some dude thought Spider-Man stole those damn pizzas.
42 blocks, or he gets fired, and he's putting around on that goddamn moped. Fuck out of
Spider Vespa?
Spider Vespa. This needs to be like Crazy Taxi. Let's go make some crazy money. Are you ready? Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the only thing crazy happened was that, like, Pete actually got there with the pizzas, like, 4 minutes late? And the lady was like, nah, just leave him. Yeah, I ain't paying you jack.
She looks right at him and says, forgiveness is divine, but a wise man says never pay full price for late pizza.
Oh, fuck.
Perfect.
And he knew it too. The look on his eyes like, damn, she right.
This could have been the plot of the entire movie, though. Can Spider-Man make it 42 blocks before he gets fired?
Dude, I played the PS2 game. Fuck no. That shit was hard.
So, I know we're just before we get too deep into it. This is Spider-Man 2. You guys have all seen Spider-Man 1, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that was the reason why we didn't pick the first one, because, like, if we went over Uncle Ben's death again, fucking I wanted to kill him. It's been done.
For what it's worth, that's the only movie that I've seen in theaters 3 times. I saw it in theaters back in 2002. This one I saw in theaters as well. I don't remember a damn thing from it.
Well, in this movie, he goes out of his way to be like, oh, Spider-Man can do whatever a spider can. Period.
Yeah. And what can a spider do? Get fired.
Twice.
Womp womp. Well, to be fair, getting fired from J. Jonah Jameson was like a fucking daily occurrence, I feel. Like, there's not a day goes by where he doesn't fire half the staff and rehire them immediately.
You're fired. Oh, wait, no. You're not fired, but get me pictures of Spider-Man.
You're fired. Wait, you're hired. Pick up that lava lamp over there and bring it here real quick. All right, you're fired again. Get the fuck out.
He's a total dickhead, but he's a great businessman because, like, he knew that Peter was the only outlet for those pictures. And he's like, that'll be $300. That's outrageous. Pay the man.
Yeah, you're an asshole. All right, fine. I like how he basically runs the National Enquirer. He makes up
Yeah.
whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and puts a spin on it and sends it into the world. If you don't give me pictures of Spider-Man, I'll just say that so-and-so's got a whole big outbreak of food poisoning. Did you get food poisoning, boss? I'm a little nauseous, so fuck it. Just
Yeah. And that hits so much differently like 20 years later, being a grown adult and be like, oh, this is Fox.
yeah.
They can just say whatever they want.
Spider-Man trying to suck my dick. More to living. What?
He's going through all these hard times, Daddy-O. This is where I get a little amused. He's trying to go to class. Doc Connor's there, the one-armed man. And he's like, Peter, you already mixed my class, and I don't know how you're going to fix it. And he just looks at him and goes, shucks, Mr. the professor guy. Shucks. Listen, Tobey Maguire is perfect for Spider-Man because he is fucking so demure that it's insane.
Yeah.
But then he's
He just
Spider-Man and he's busting shit up.
You're right. Like from the neck up, meek. From the neck down, Spider-Man.
And I'll tell you, this professor of his, this is the only time that he shows up in the movie as far as I remember. I know him from something. I don't know what, but in whatever I know him from, I remember him being a pedophile. And that's all I can think about.
Well, I mean, well, that's
If somebody knows what role that is, let me know down in the comments because I couldn't find it on IMDb.
well, I think this was a missed opportunity. Like maybe in like a Spider-Man 4 that never happened. Like that guy totally supposed to be the reptile.
Oh, yeah. This is really interesting again to me, though. And he's so busy, he's forgotten you're Spider-Man, bro. Like, you have to role play as Peter Parker and then go home to a birthday party where your best friend is hounding you about killing you.
Yes.
Secretly. He's like, was it where you get some pictures of that freak? Huh? Your friend? Huh? Just kind of shoving him? Huh? You better give me some goddamn photos before spring break.
Because spring break is forever.
Spring break is forever. Yeah, that's James Franco, and he plays a great James Franco in this, doesn't he?
He was very good as Tommy Wiseau again. The same big ass suit, the same clueless, not really clueless acting, just like the whole smell the fart thing. It just seemed to be his whole personality.
See, my whole vibe from him was like he was giving off big, do you know who my dad is?
Oh, dude,
Dad.
yeah. Don't you know my dad? He owns a dealership. Yeah,
My
owns a
dad-
dealership.
Owns this dealership.
We got Kirsten fucking Dunst.
Oh, yep, we absolutely do. Quite a cutie, I might add.
And like they string it along in this movie, like the relationship between Peter Parker and Mary Jane. Of course, you have to, but like it's just like the tension in this movie is like palatable. Like for whatever reason, it just like hits like a real life chord, and it's just like, what? I thought this was supposed to be a funny comic book movie. What's with the drama being so good?
I think it's just, again, because of Toby and Kirsten. They are both, at this point, actors who have been in the biz for a hot minute. So when you get to see Peter go outside to take out the trash or whatever, and Mary Jane's there, they have this moment of will they, won't they? And fuck, he wants to, but he also knows, yo, I'm going to hurt you more by being Spider-Man. So I have to hurt you as little as possible by just saying no.
Yeah, I'll just stand here, suffer, and just try not to cry through my lines.
He's just constantly blue balling himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the end of it, he's just like, please stop asking me questions.
Yeah. Well, what the question was they got me was, you want to see something? And she says that in a very seductive way. And his eyes go wide. And, he's like, the carpet's message rapes.
He should have had that moment where he like looked down for like a half second, looked right back up.
She talking about a titty?
Okay, she says, you're such a mystery. The word you're looking for here is cuck. He is a cuck.
Yeah.
But she's got a boyfriend now anyway. Like this guy, I don't know who he is, but he's got, I don't know, he's well connected, well-to-do, got something going on. I don't remember.
I love how she goes about telling him that just so he could just be like, no, like she wanted a rise out of him. He's like, well, I got a boyfriend. We kiss and stuff. Probably other stuff. Doesn't that make y'all weird? And he's just like, and he's like having this like stroke that he has to hold.
Yeah.
He's like that meme kid sitting in class with a vein popping out of his neck.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Just absolute frustration.
And what's not to be frustrated about? I mean, he lives in a shitty apartment. His rent is constantly due. His Aunt May's house is about to get foreclosed on.
Yeah.
He
That's
just got fired, and just shit is rough.
That's why I said earlier, this movie's just like pooping all over Parker, because like he had that moment where he just basically had to like tear his own heart apart, and he goes right back in just to see that Aunt May can't afford shit and is going to be put on the street.
And she's having a breakdown because she wants to help him. All this leads to the B plot of the movie, and that's Peter having to go to the doctor to get pills for his erectile dysfunction.
Oh,
I like
but no,
that.
he does do that. That's not something that, yeah, not with those words, but that's what he's doing. He's a Spider-Man. There's no doctors for Spider-Man.
Like, I know there's like the whole doctor-patient confidentiality thing, but like being a physician and seeing this kid who one year was a kid, the next year a super shredded dude. Like, how do you not like notice this shit? Like, I know he had that stupid hippie shirt on. He probably goes home and takes part in the old peyote, but like that dude's a doctor. Isn't he like going to notice some shit? Like, that's clearly Spider-Man.
Well, he's like, I'm Spider-Man. He goes, I bet you are. Take 2 of these and your dick will work. And then he just kind of whips out of the window. Now, we meet Doc Ock at this point. James Franco's character, Harry Osborn, is introducing Peter to him as a favor. He looks right at Doc Ock, and he goes, this is my friend Peter. You're going to talk to him. He goes, I'm fucking busy. I'm making a black hole. And he goes, he goes, oh, yeah, you own me. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
And even Peter was just like, hey, what's up, man? I'm Peter. Just kind of like break the ice.
Yeah, and they just stand around because as soon as he realizes, hey, wait a minute, you're Connor's buddy, right? You're Connor's student. You're Parker. You're supposed to be brilliant. And he just turns into science, and they just yell science a bunch.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're brilliant. Fucking lazy. And then he goes on this spiel about how intelligent people are just like the fucking cream of the crop, rising to the top.
This guy is basically this basic.
Sorry.
Fuck.
We just miss Bonesaw. That's all it is.
That's all. I hear that he's ready.
So question: who is Bonesaw? He's Macho Man Randy Savage in this world or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got you for 5 whole minutes.
Was he in the first one?
Correct.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, Peter has to battle him in a steel cage match for 5 whole minutes of playtime. If he survives that 5 whole minutes of playtime, then he'll have enough money to buy a car so Mary Jane will get on his shit.
That actually comes back around. We'll get to that.
All right. Wait, what does he need a car in New York City for?
To be cool as fuck? I don't know. Women be crazy.
I guess so, yeah.
So he's not riding a Vespa?
That's so embarrassing. Like, 30-year-old man on that thing.
Is it? I think he just doesn't have the charisma to carry it.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Because of that Bit and Date movie where what's-her-name turns into Terry Crews. I gotcha.
Yeah, so if he would have been on that Vespa and they would have played Blitzkrieg Bop, and he's like, nah, 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 and he's just cruising down to pick up fucking Mary Jane. He's got that stupid little smile like he does in the third one doing the emo dance, but he's on his Vespa. You'd go, this dude's got it.
Okay, yeah, I can see that for sure. But back to Mr. Dr. Octopus. What exactly is he doing? He's using harmonics to do something with fusion to make energy.
That was
science.
That's perfectly acceptable technobabble because whatever. He's basically just trying to figure out fusion, producing energy from nothing, I think. The power of the sun in the palm of my claws. That's his whole thing.
So that's what we're doing here. We're doing some science fiction shit in someone's living room.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is a Sam Raimi movie, and this is like the most Sam Raimi-y Spider-Man movie. We get to the part where like we see Dr. Octagon put his arms together, and like there's this great spiel about like, from the comics, like, I control it. It doesn't control me. I have this inhibitor chip. No worries.
There were worries.
Yeah.
The biggest worry was the fact that we all knew it was coming.
Yeah.
The tentacle porn.
Well, in the same vein, like what I was trying to bring up was that like once like shit hits the fan and he's evil Dr. Octagonopus, it turns into a fucking horror movie. Like I don't know what it is, but like when this thing is like pulling itself apart, this whole like sun capturing equipment, it's just extra violent for whatever reason. Yeah.
We get the glass exploding and killing his wife. Spider-Man barely saves James Franco, and for whatever reason, it's Spider-Man's fault. And Doc Ock goes, "You son of a bitch! I'm gonna kill ya."
Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like he did anything actually at all.
Well, I mean, he did save the day, but like, he has that like bad guy trope to where like he wakes up in a haze of consciousness, sees dead wife, sees Spider-Man. He's like, oh, all right, that's you did that.
Come on.
I bet those two are connected.
He's a scientist who was conscious during the fucking literal disintegration of this room. He saw his wife die before he gets knocked out. Wakes up and goes, "You did it."
Yeah, he just turns into like the mindset of J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, you're fired. All fucking four of them.
And once more, I have to bring up how it's basically shot like a horror movie because, you know, shit hit the fan. Osborn man, he's pissed because he lost a ton of money. Everybody's in shock. Dr. Octagon, he's on the slab, getting those arms cut off, or about to anyways. And those poor doctors did not deserve the beating that they got.
This scene comes off like that scene from fucking Independence Day.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just a smoky room and people are just getting absolutely just manhandled.
That's a good fucking parallel.
It's incredibly, like, in the realm of this comic book movie, incredibly violent, because like these people are just like trying to get away and they just can't. It's almost like these arms turn into slashers.
What are you doing, Step Octopus?
Oh
no. I really enjoyed this for a different reason. They have a prop handheld stainless steel chainsaw that they zoom in on once when he brings it out, and you go, "That's crazy." And then he tries to fight off the tentacle with it, and you get to see it again, and then he gets murdered, and it slides across the floor, and they want to show you it a third time. They must be real fucking proud of that handheld chainsaw.
I think it was just like the whole horror thing, because like he breaks it out and has make that like whining sound. You're like, oh shit, something's about to happen. But then like he loses control of it. You're like, oh shit, something else is about to happen.
So this is a Sam Raimi movie with a chainsaw. What do we got next? Oh, here's Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, well, he's in the first one too. He actually introduces Bonesaw.
Well, I did not remember that.
Yeah, we get the talk soup guy now. He's at a bank.
Oh no!
I just want to say this.
Joe
Peter
McHale.
Parker almost died, saw someone get killed. Every day he's at some fucking play or a party or something. This whole city is literally just crime and parties.
Okay, very good point, because spoilers, like maybe 2/3 through the movie, he's kind of had enough of the Spider-Man shtick, and he's just walking down the street, and two dudes are roughing up another dude. I was like, hey Pete, there's crime over there. There's some crime. It's just right there.
I just killed a man. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh, Last Action Hero.
So let me just say, it breaks my heart that you referred to Joel McHale as the Talk Soup guy. It's also hilarious because I forgot that he was on Talk Soup.
Well, after seeing this movie, if I ever like run across him, I'm like, oh hey, you're that guy from Spider-Man 2.
I don't know why I cackled like that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
His line reads were pretty funny too, because like he was on the ground with Aunt May. He's just, oh, he's such a hero, and just gave like a goofy face. I'm like, I get it.
He's literally Jeffrey Winger, just as a banker.
Yeah.
So Doc Ock busts into the bank, and he's like, I'm robbing this joint. And they start throwing bags of coins at one another, which to me, I thought was pretty fucking neat, because I can only imagine a saddlebag full of quarters being hucked at you at 60 miles an hour.
I was also impressed about how many Sacagawea dollars exist. Like, it's just bags of them.
That's the only way to use the subway.
You know, these work in vending machines now.
But Spider-Man, as usual, is too much for Doc Ock, and he's like, I gotta take a hostage. Let me grab Aunt May. His fucking hostage-picking abilities are beyond reproach, because, number one, if you don't want Spider-Man to fuck with you, grab his aunt. Oh, wait, Spider-Man's fucking with you again later in the movie? Grab his girl.
Yeah, his yoinking ability is impeccable. Like, it's ridiculous, because, like, I know he has full control and he doesn't necessarily have to see what he's grabbing at, but, like, the way he just kind of, like, juggles Aunt May around climbing up that building just seemed, like, so hilariously unsafe.
Okay. Can we discuss the way he's tossing her around? She is, let's say, 75?
Correct. I'll give it that. Why not?
She's being tossed with velocity
Mhm.
from 10 to 15 feet apart and being grabbed by a 3-pronged mechanical tentacle that then whips her around and throws her in a different direction. That poor old lady, okay, number one, she's got paper skin. Number
Mhm.
two, she's already probably had a hip replacement. She's going to be so fucking broken after this.
She's fucking dead.
No, absolutely. That was something that came up with the missus when we were watching. I was just like, especially the second time she almost hit the ground. I was just like, there is no way she didn't have at least a heart attack. You know, like at that age, she's basically just like one of those little hamsters that all they do is die.
No, it's just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, loud noise. Ooh.
There's actually quite a few moments in this that, like, you really do have to suspend your disbelief to be like, oh, that person should have died, and they didn't. Mostly Spider-Man. He just regularly falls down, like, from a 10-story drop or something like that, and he's just like, oh, that hurt.
Is it weird that I actually found that refreshing? Like, I was like, man, Spider-Man's always whipping around. Like, it's kind of cool just to see him hit the fucking ground. It's like, oh, that's what that's like.
Yeah, like, that's the Spider-Man blooper reel. Show us that.
Just him smashing into those pipes the first time he got a web tile dysfunction was just fucking hilarious. I don't know what it is, because it was like a perfect imprint of his body. I was like, all right, this is goofy.
My favorite is whenever he's whipping around, and like Chandler said, he takes like a 10-story fall, smashes his back off a car, and he's like, well, because he goes, haha, I'm back. And then his webs stop, and he plummets. Bang! Smashes off of a car. My back! Ah! Which, again, I know that this comes back later, even in the newest film.
It does, yeah, absolutely.
Am I going to have to see the next, what are that, like 6 more Spider-Man movies?
No, actually you don't.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Discussion over.
Yeah, like it's like, no, you're good. Like you saw Spider-Man 2, 10 out of 10.
Which one's got the hot Aunt May?
Oh no, Step Peter. Where'd you get those tentacles?
Hey, Peter.
Nice, Joe. That was good. Well, Spider-Man, after rescuing Aunt May and letting Doc Ock get away, is thinking, fuck, I need to take some me time. I need to get away. And he decides that Spider-Man is in the trash now, and he's just going to live as plain old Peter Pumpkin Peter. And he seems genuinely happy at the moment.
Absolutely. Peter Parker's just like, man, this whole spider thing just isn't for me. Even though it was for the last movie and the last half of this one.
Yeah. He decides that he's going to go and talk to Aunt May because he's trying to just be a brand new him. Everything that was in the past, he's trying to wash his hands of. Spider-Man can take a break. I want to talk to Aunt May about what really happened to Uncle Ben.
Oof.
And that's such a dark scene because he's literally pouring his soul out to her. This is the only person he's got. Like, if you read the comics, this is his family. This is as far as it goes. This is all he has. This whole world. And she fucking pulls her hand out from under his hand and leaves the table like, bro, I'm done with you.
That's what I wanted to bring up is that, like, there are, like, moments in this movie that just take you back to, like, the most simplest forms of, like, relationship drama. And it's just like, why are these nuggets in this movie? Isn't Spider-Man just supposed to punch the shit out of Alfred Molina and that be it?
I think it's there to let you know that, again, with great power comes great responsibility. And that's the whole plot with Spider-Man. And this poor guy, he's a hero, but it's ruining his life. And that's nuts. Like, he's literally, we're getting that moment of realism into this film. It's not all just fun and games of him rescuing people. His life is falling apart. He's losing the woman he loves. His only family member is basically washing their hands of him, and he's got nowhere to turn. This could have been a much darker movie, and we could have seen like the symbiote Spider-Man come out in this movie, and I think it would have been very welcomed.
Oh shit, it's Eric Foreman.
No, not that bit. Just Spider-Man with the symbiote would have been good.
He could have been a Spider-Man for crime, you know. Spider criminal. Do.
It's just the theme, but janky.
Just right into it.
They could go a whole lot of different directions, is all I'm saying.
Well, the direction they go in is absolutely just like this weird form of like audience frustration, because like we brought it up earlier that Peter threw away the whole Spider-Man shtick, and he's going like down the street just like ignoring all this super it's not supposed to be funny, but it's hilarious how obvious the crime is, and he just like shrugs, what a day, you know.
This is
Mhm.
actually one of the funnier scenes to me. He's walking down the street, just like swinging his arms way too much, looking like Vince fucking McMahon. He's like, I'm gonna
Oh,
get myself a hot dog. Then there's a car chase that he's just like, I'm gonna ignore that.
Do you think when he pounded that hot dog, it's like that thing when guys have to think about baseball? Because like he sees the crime, and he's like, "Oh man, I
oh,
could stop it right now." But he's like, "No, boom, bratwurst."
Mm.
oh! I'm gonna whip so hard.
He
But
just has to muzzle himself with some Oscar Mayer.
he even finally gets to go to Mary Jane's play. If we haven't mentioned it, Mary Jane's been in this play this whole time, and she's been like, "Oh, Peter, why haven't you come see me? Everybody's come see me. Why haven't you?" He finally gets to go, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Sorry, I got a boyfriend now."
She's like,
I don't know.
I
Like,
got a
oh, go ahead.
boyfriend and I'm getting married in a church.
Yep.
Deuces. And he's like, but I'm different. And she goes, you are different. Want to meet at the cafe tomorrow for a torrid affair? And he goes, I like coffee.
Absolutely, I do.
Well, dude, it all stemmed from the big dick move of him actually showing up. Because like when he
Yeah.
finally filled the seat, she looks over, spots him, and just freezes. She's like, spider penis. Oh man, what's my line?
Oh, he's just got his dick cocooned up to look 3 times bigger in his jeans.
Oh.
Call me Chad.
He's got
Ah.
it wrapped. He's got it wrapped up in like 4 layers of web, just to give it a little bit extra girth. Anyway, so Garbage Man found this Spidey suit in the alleyway, and J. Jonah Jameson's gonna give him $100 for it, and he's gonna mount it on his fucking wall like a boss.
Maybe the movie was trying to like run the things like he put it up there as a trophy, as like
Mhm.
him thinking he defeated Spider-Man, or was it that thing
Yeah.
where he's just a closeted Spider-Man fan?
Oh, I think it's both.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. He's definitely hard for Spider-Man in both ways. So this also leads up to what's happening. Spider-Man goes to brunch, I guess, with Mary Jane, and guess who
Mhm.
attacks? Of course, it's Doc Ock. Him and James Franco have decided that they're going to team up, and he's going to get Spidey. So he throws a fucking card through the window, and Mary Jane's
Yep.
like, "Kiss me," and he goes, "Bro, my Spidey senses is
Bro.
tingling for real, for real." And then the car
Mm.
smashes through the window.
And she was like, "What was that?" And he just brushes it off his shoulder. That was a Mazda.
It's just every day. Every fucking day is parties and crime. And he runs out, jumps up the wall, and Jay Jonah's having some kind of epiphany where he goes, you know what? This city's so full of crime, it needed Spider-Man. He was a hero.
Well, despite all of J. Jonah Jameson's bitching, like he like yoinks the suit immediately, like a split second. He has it on, and he just books it downtown.
And speaking of downtown, what I've got here today is from Lost Coast Brewery from Eureka, California. This is their downtown brown ale. This is a classic dry brown ale, 5% alcohol by volume. Pretty dry, not super sweet, nothing like especially nutty or caramel or anything like that in here. This is a dry brown ale, and I love it. 20 IBUs, so there's a good little kiss of hops in there, but it's not all the way. This is a good, well-rounded, super drinkable brown ale, and I wish, more breweries made things like this, but I guess they're just all about those IPAs these days.
Well, that review really got my Spidey senses tingling. Tingling. Tingling senses.
That's the equivalent of just yelling "Segway."
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we get a moment of bliss. Spider-Man v. Doc Ock on the Metro.
This fight scene is insanely well done. Holy shit, what an incredible action scene.
The way they flip between the angles is what sells it. So it's not just that classic side view of 2 guys fighting on a train, where it's Spider-Man and this octopus man. They are fucking all over the train. They're off the train for a moment, then back on the train and setting up slingshots and shit like that. It's really fucking cool. And Spider-Man's definitely taking the worst of it.
Oh, absolutely. And I even love the details of like everything kind of concurrently going on. Sam Raimi is not afraid of just like hanging on shots and just like being detail oriented. Like people are being used as projectiles.
Yeah, I was going to say my favorite part was when Doc Ock just like rips people out of the train cars and starts throwing the whole bitch at Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the Spider-Man's got to save the day, of course. He doesn't, want to be responsible for a dude that gets turned into fucking Smuckers on the side of the road. Like,
With a name like Smuckers, it has to be good.
he's trying to make cradles for him and stuff, and it's all in the same shot of like Doc Ock picking up all these people. It's just like, oh, okay, They're landing perfectly in frame. This is nice.
Keep him safe. He starts to get the better of Doc Ock. So Doc Ock, I can't remember if he hits like a button on the side of this on the metro or whatever, but they end up getting onto a track that's going to dead end.
And he rips out the brake, so Spider-Man's got to use like his web, and he starts shooting, and he's like, "Oh, that should be good. Oh, that's not good enough. Shit."
I do enjoy the brief second of the driver feeling around the hole where the gas pedal used to be. He's like, it's gone now. I don't know what to do.
And
Might
then
as well
we get
just panic.
Yeah. Begin to panic. We get this amazing shot, and I can't believe they got him in the movie for this, of Arnold Schwarzenegger walking into frame and going, "The bridge is out."
Nice.
So during the scene, he gets his mask ripped off at some point, but I don't know how. But he
takes it off.
He takes it off voluntarily.
I forgot what happened. Like something got blown in his face and ripped it to shreds, so he just went ahead and took it off.
Yeah, it was more of a hindrance.
So he ends up on the front of this train, just like trying to shoot all of his web across all the buildings surrounding, just to get like enough tensile strength to hold back this, barreling train down the track before it gets to the end. And he just barely makes it.
I love it. I absolutely love this. Like, we went over how like the CG effects are kind of iffy, but like I just love how this whole scene works. It's such a great suspenseful thing.
And he's got like this T-pose going on, and his poop face is awesome.
I mean, I know they're trying to make him look like this is kind of like his Superman moment, where like he is like the above and beyond strong man. He stopped the train with his body. But the way he looked at the end of this whole thing looked like he just herniated every fucking muscle in his body.
Yes.
It's the exact same face Jack Black makes in Tenacious D whenever he's like, "Get it up, helmet head."
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, so he is bleeding. His costume is torn in several places. The passengers sort of like body surf him toward the middle of the train, and they're like, is he fucking dead?
Yeah, and then Doc Ock comes busting in, gonna fucking kill him, right? They're like, "Here, Spider-Man, here's your mask." And Joey Diaz fucking steps out and goes, "Back off, Doc Ock, or I'll shove 2 of these 200 milligram stars down your throat."
And he's just like, "Do it."
If you want to mess with Billy Idol, you'll have to come through me.
That's gorgeous. And he just does. I know Joey Diaz does like a big dick move, and he's just like, "You gotta go to us." And he just does. Doc Ock just splits the Red Sea on him, just like, all right.
Yep.
Fucking just yokes him up and goes and delivers him to James fucking Franco. And according to news reports, I think this is how he got in trouble to begin with. Just people being delivered to him semi-conscious.
Oh, no. Shit.
In the background is just... This is definitely a scene that turns James Franco's character into like the Green Goblin or whatever later, but it's this weird thing where like Alfred Molina is such a great actor, and he's even putting an effort in like this comic book movie. He doesn't have to, he does. But then opposite him is just melodramatic Franco, just like fucking hamming it up, just being like, "Here's your medal you asked for. Oh, I need to see something for myself." And he like saunters across the floor like he's in a soap opera.
He's got like the foot drag slide. "I want to see your face before I stab you with my ceremonial dagger."
Yeah. I'm sure that he had like acid engraved for this moment.
Oh, yeah, for fucking sure. He rips off the fucking mask, and every lucha knows you don't do that.
No.
So he rips off the mask, raises the ceremonial dagger, and goes, "Oh, Peter, you killed my father."
And then Peter goes like, okay, Spider-Man is passed out, unconscious in this chair.
Yeah,
He rips off the mask, and then suddenly Peter is back to being like 100%. He's like, "Listen, I gotta go. There are things bigger than you and me." He's about to kill half of New York City. Also, my pussy out there, so I gotta go get it. You know what I mean?
He looks at him and he goes, "You'll do fucking nothing," and just walks out.
With that like janky like McMahon walk. Just all loose.
Yeah, so the next thing we know, literally like 5 minutes later, Spider-Man is in Alfred Molina, Doc Ock's little lair. Because he has a lair. He's a bad guy, he's got to have a lair.
Okay, we got to talk about this, because like he is bad guy. Like this is like comic book bad guy. He did rob a bank because he needed to afford the things to build his sun machine. This man is a comic book villain
Yep.
Why didn't he just steal the things that he needed to build that machine?
Well, no, he needed the unobtainium or whatever it is, the special metal from James Franco, and he had to pay him to get that metal.
Oh no, wait, no. His fee was
He paid him
Spider-Man
as
though.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what the fuck is he going to do with 2 bags of Sacagaweas anyway?
He paid somebody apparently because like I'm trying to think of the logic, right? Like he's Dr. Octagonopus. He goes into a convenience store. He's like, I don't have enough for this candy bar. Let me go rob this bank first.
No, I
Let's go
told
buy
you
that
they work
fucking
in
Mars
vending
bar.
machines now.
See, we've got to figure it out. He had to rob the Sacagaweas for everyday spending money
Oh, okay. He just dumped it in a Coinstar. Never. All right, I got you.
at Walmart. Everyone's just staring at him. He's just fucking using the tentacle to dump the coins.
All right, so now that we figured that out, Spider-Man is just creeping out on the ceiling of his little lair.
He's got Kirsten surprisingly big titty dunce there.
The fact that Sam Raimi had to go out of his way to make her moist again was just hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like the first 3/4 of this movie have been a little bit too dry. You know what I mean, Kirsten?
He says with his hands in his pocket, rocking back and forth. Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You know what would make this scene better? A wet t-shirt. Splash! All right, Alfred, get to it. All right, Spider-Man, we're going to battle while I've built this thing, and she's going to be over there just juggling.
She's over there vibrating as the machine goes haywire.
Yeah.
Director, on your go. It's time to commence the jiggling.
I do have to give props to the man, Dr. Octopus. He put this together in what, 4 fucking days? Into some derelict shack in the middle of the Hudson River? Just like, okay, all right.
Yeah, how long did it take Rasputin to do that in Hellboy? A little bit.
After I saw him lick a dude's leg in that Kingsman movie, I don't fucking know anymore.
He needed Nazis, too. This was all Alfred Molina. I mean, I guess he did have, 4 more arms, but, still all him.
This is one dude, and he got it done. And he starts to generate once again, and I don't know why he wants to remake it. I really fucking don't. Because he's not bringing his wife back with it.
Actually, yeah, that's a great point, because the whole point was, supply the world with free energy, like ever-going energy, or whatever. So he turned into a bad guy to do a wonderful thing.
Sounds kind of a lot like Elon Musk to me. I mean, that was the comparison that I started out with. I don't know. Seems like Elon Musky.
He does feel like the kind of guy that wouldn't say anything about his 4 extra arms. He just has them and just walks on stage.
Yeah.
You talking about Elon Musk and his brain implant that he won't tell no one about, but he's already got?
Yeah. And next up are his Tesla arms. Great addition.
He's the scientist we need, but not the scientist we deserve.
I don't know. He's just a rich guy making all those dick-looking rockets.
Fuck it.
You don't think Alfred Molina would make a dick-looking rocket? I think he would make a dick-looking rocket, but with spider arms.
Yeah.
Those arms
on the ground.
Goddamn soap on a rope.
It's a treasure, Daddy. Now, this whole fight is once again nonsense. Like they start brawling. They've got the sun growing in the background. Kirsten Dunst's clothes are being ripped off, and you're just like, yeah, please. And the ground falls in after he shocks him, even though it doesn't do anything to him. He's like, I got electrocuted a little bit. And
a little bit.
Yeah. And that was extra violent too. Like I was just like, oh fuck, Spider-Man killed other man.
Yeah. It was almost like Jaws 2 when he bites the wire.
Yeah, and even like recently, like that kid from Jurassic Park, he just held on the fence too long. Like that dude's out.
1, 2, bap.
Cuts to Alfred Molina.
Yeah, just fucking laying in a heap. And he's like, get out of here, Spider-Man. Take fucking Jiggles with you. I've got this.
Oh, shit. Like, the more I think about it, the more I realize how high my disbelief had to be held, but even though I was into it, fucking Peter's holding up the entire building on his back. His hurt back, by the way.
Yeah.
And Alfred Molina's just like, guess I'm good now. Told these snakes to fuck off and they listen. I'm gonna go drown myself because that's the correct thing to do.
No kidding.
Dude, okay, let's talk about this fucking death. He falls into the water while Spider-Man swings away into just an instant web. Like he can shoot, he can just whip a whole web.
Yeah,
But-
no, he's been holding it back, and then when
Yeah.
he saw them jiggling, he couldn't last any longer.
Man, hey, shout out to the doctor,
Mm.
handing over that blue pill script.
Mm-hmm.
For reals. And Alfred falls into the water with this sun. This resolves nothing. There is still a fucking black hole sun, or whatever the hell, Soundgarden, sinking to the bottom of the Hudson, with Alfred Molina floating above it, just staring hard into the camera. Like, I guess I'm dying. What?
This scene looks kind of creepy too. The way he's like looking back while he's holding, I guess, the sun or this whatever this is supposed to be, this generated mass of energy. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's Sam Raimi. He just likes to plug in those like horror elements because it's like, whoa, why is this so fucking unsettling? Like in the moment the movie was trying to tell me like he's kind of a good guy now, I'm just like, oh, I don't know if he deserved that. It's just like,
Dude,
all right.
All I'm saying is once the spirit bomb hits the bottom of the Hudson, it's over.
I think it was like getting smaller. I think it was just like cooling off or going away.
But wouldn't that like superheat the river? Like, wouldn't it like fucking just start to boil at some point?
Science!
I can only shrug.
Yeah, just be like, I saved the day. Day is saved.
All right, so
And-
they're up here in this web starting to canoodle.
Yeah, they
Man.
are.
Like I understand why this is the way it is, but like them on the spider web just felt so fucking cheap for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Like this is like, even for this movie, just cartoonish. I'm just like, I guess.
The dialogue is a little cringy too. Like, I don't remember exactly what was said, but she was basically just like, "So you do love me?" And he's just like, "Yeah, totes."
Well, it's because
Suck my
Tobey
web
Maguire.
slinger.
It's because Tobey Maguire was just like, I dislike sand. It's coarse and just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's like, "Can we hook up?" And he goes, "Yeah, just not right now. I gotta sit here like sexy Jeff Goldblum while you repel like Sting."
But yeah, so the jig is up. She knows who he is now. Shit's gonna be a little bit different, I expect, if I ever watch a third one. But in the meantime, James Franco he's going through some stuff. Evidently, he's still up there with that same dagger.
Look,
Yeah.
he's hanging out with the movie's any and all excuse to have Willem Dafoe here.
Yes.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him. Like, I knew he was a part of this universe. He was in the first one. I think I remember. I didn't remember him like dying. Did he die?
Spoilers, if anybody's listening. He winds up accidentally killing himself, and then everybody thought that Spider-Man's did it. That's why Franco over there is a little pissed off at him.
Oh, okay. Let me get this straight. He sees a vision of his dead father, and he's like, "You gotta avenge me. You gotta get the Spider-Man. Here's an extra room in your house that you didn't know that you had."
It's a little embarrassing how nobody found this. It takes up so much goddamn space. Goblin bombs forever, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Can we discuss the fact that James Franco blames Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man's like, "Hey man, I didn't do it," and he breaks through a mirror.
No, not at all. Because like, there's that bit where like he gets like up to talk to James Franco after being unconscious. James Franco's like, "Oh, you killed my father, my father." Tobey Maguire doesn't even say no.
Mhm.
He doesn't deny it in any way. He's just like, "That's not important right now."
There are more pressing matters.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Say when, Ringo. Say when.
Yeah, so he's not denying it. He's just like, not now. That's got to wait until the sequel.
But think about this.
Yeah.
Even if Spider-Man killed him, you have just found the diabolical, evil lair of your father, adorned with weapons of mass destruction and a guide on how to kill innocent people.
Well, he did turn that old man in a wheelchair into bones. That was pretty neat.
But would you be like, "Oh, Dad was a good guy. He didn't deserve that"? Or would you be able to go, "Maybe Dad was a scumbag"?
Damn, maybe Dad was onto some shit.
Well, he was into it. Either way.
Yeah. Mary Jane, meanwhile, is running out of her wedding just so we can get this cliched shot of someone running away in a fucking wedding dress. And she's so happy. And she runs up, sneaks into Spider-Man's room. She
Yeah.
has no clue she's there. And then they bang it out.
Do spiders have ears? I don't know. I mean, that's maybe that wedding dress plus 50 to stealth. OP.
Oh,
Yeah.
OP.
Okay.
I got to get me one of those. So yeah, you're right. They kiss, and then right after, there's a siren, and she's just like, "Go get him, Tiger."
And he's like, I'm Spider, not whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not Tiger Man.
He just starts web slinging his way across New York City like it's the fucking video game. Meanwhile, vindicated. I am selfish. I don't know the lyrics to this song, but it's Vindicated by Dashboard Confessional, and it's not a good song.
It's a harsh reminder that this movie came out in 2004. You know.
Let it be known, I do love some early Dashboard Confessional, but this kind of ended all of that. This is a bad song.
I still think this is a cutesy love story, and it fits Tobey's version of Spider-Man perfect. From beginning to end in this movie, there's a few campy moments which are fun. The cute bits definitely work for the overarching story. The CG at times is extremely dated, more so on Spider-Man than on Doc Ock. But I really like this movie.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, but like I really like this movie. This is actually an incredible superhero movie. For some reason, like I just picked up on all the Sam Raimi-isms, and I just love this like playfulness of itself. It's like, oh, it's a superhero movie. Oh, it's a drama. Oh, it's a horror movie. It's just like it was a treat. It's all goofy in the right ways. It's all dramatic in the right ways. The action's very well done. Alfred Molina is just that guy who's just showing up doing 100%. I don't know why. He's so fun to watch. He is Doc Ock, and I recommend this movie easily.
And I guess I'm going to have to be the contrarian here. As a guy that doesn't really like superhero movies, this one was pretty average to me. There are some pretty stellar performances. Alfred Molina, absolutely. J.K. Simmons knocked it out of the park as J. Jonah Jameson. But for the most part, this was just like a basic, normal superhero movie to me. Completely middle of the road. Wasn't bad, but absolutely nothing special or spectacular to me. Like, the dialogue was pretty medium. The action scenes were okay. There just wasn't really anything for me to bite onto in this one.
Well, there you have it. That was Spider-Man Dose from 2004. If you have any strong feelings about the show or the movie, leave in the comment section below.
Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to bash that bell icon down there too, so you don't miss what we got brewing up next.
Get out there and follow us on social media, y'all. We got the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Reddit. We're everywhere podcasts can be listened to. We're even on fucking YouTube. So check us out. If you don't, you're going to get erectile dysfunction too, bitch.
Vindicated!
No.